Hi friends, I'm Bryn.
And I'm Nathan.
And this is Friends Who Crime.
Friends Who Crime.
Before we get started, do me a favor, follow us on Instagram at Friends Who Crime. You can also email us, friendswhocrime@gmail.com. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating on whatever podcast app you're using, and make sure to share with your friends. I'd like to introduce my guest today. He is new on the podcast. Hello, Nathan.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm so well.
Good. Tell us a little bit about you.
My name's Nathan, obviously.
No way.
No way. I'm a musician / baker / everything else. I have too many interests.
That's a good thing.
And ADHD, which is why I have too many interests. So
I feel you.
yeah.
I feel like that. How do we know each other?
Well, we work together.
We do work together.
Even though we rarely work at the same time.
It's true. One day a week.
One day a week.
But we teach at 2 of the same schools.
Which is crazy, because Austin's so big, and we did not plan this at all.
Okay, and then is true crime involved in your life at all?
Kinda. Let's say I'm true crime adjacent, I guess. My second coworker has a true crime podcast, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And kind of scary.
Yeah, well, your friend that you told me about.
Yeah, Chris.
Yes, Chris.
Shout out to Chris.
Their
Lambert.
podcast is like
It's
blown
huge.
up.
And it's very different. It's like long form. It's like a whole novel, basically.
It's crazy.
Murder mystery.
But he's gone to like talk with the murderer, right?
I mean, he went to the murderer's house. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
it's like
wild.
gripping.
Do you know what that's called? What that
Yeah, it's your own backyard. So
Okay.
if you guys want to check it out,
Yes.
it's wild.
It speaks to the same audience for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah. Then I guess not true crime, but like fake crime is like one of my favorite genres. Like when I was reading like Boxcar Children, Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, Sherlock Holmes, that kind of stuff. And then crime television. So fun.
Yeah, crime television for sure. My cat is begging to come inside.
Boof.
Boof.
I like how he waited till we started.
I know, he just knows.
He knows. He was like, "Oh, it's my time to shine." He knows. He was chilling for hours. You guys couldn't see him, but he was literally just sitting out there.
Literally.
Until the moment we started, and he's like, "Heck yeah, I'm in." Oh, and my hometown's a prison town, so it's like famous maximum security prison that Al Capone was locked up in.
No way.
And it appears on lots of crime shows. And when I was 3, someone was murdered in my alleyway, so my parents moved.
Oh my gosh.
So I guess I am connected to true crime.
That's crazy.
Yep, it changed my life.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna get into my Brinterruption. How do I say this? Okay, Brinterruption. There's a documentary that came out on Netflix. It was called The Staircase, and it came out like years ago.
Okay.
And it's about this guy whose wife supposedly fell down the stairs, but when they found her dead.
What do you mean supposedly?
It's a whole thing, Nathan. I can't
Okay.
even get into it. The husband says she fell down the stairs and died.
Right.
But when they get there and they find her body, there's like blood everywhere. And they're like, there's no way that she fell down the stairs. Right. And so they go into like all these theories of like how it could have happened. And her husband does eventually like get charged for her murder. But they did a documentary on him specifically between when he was charged and when he like went to trial.
Okay.
So like the in-between times they were with him like 24/7. So it's this crazy documentary. It's wild. He's the craziest guy. like very eccentric, very theatrical. But then they did a drama series on it. It was like an HBO series, and they just put it on Netflix.
Okay.
And it has Colin Firth in it. Just like really great acting, and I think they did a really good job. I think there's 10 episodes. Highly recommend.
Okay.
Highly recommend.
And it's just about him not pushing her down the stairs.
Well, they go through in this series, like every time a new theory is brought up in the plot line, they go and they do a flashback of like, if it happened that way, this is how it would have played out.
So like Clue.
Yes.
But in real life.
Yes.
Hypothetically.
But it's just
That's
a wild
insane.
series. It's also really graphic.
Great.
And just very realistic as far as like dead bodies and people getting injured and people beating people and just so just be warned. But like if you can stomach that stuff, it's really, really good. Really good. Okay. Ready to get into the case?
Yes, I'm excited.
I'll set up just a really quick trigger warning real quick. There is a brief mention of rape in this, but I'm just kind of gonna give you that fact and then kind of move on from it, so it won't be anything too crazy. I'm not gonna go into detail. All right, this is another Texas case.
Okay.
I've done a few on the podcast. I actually just wrapped up a multi-part series on the Austin yogurt shop murders. I've done Texas serial killers. But this is another Texas case. McAllen, Texas is where we're going to pick up, and this is 1960. 1960. A small Rio Grande Valley city surrounded by orange groves and sugarcane fields. In 1960, its population was about 33,000.
Okay, just like my hometown.
Yeah, and this is part of why I picked this case, because I think you'll relate to
also the
the town. And the oranges.
Yeah.
Townspeople only locked their doors at night. Like, doors weren't locked during the day. They greeted all their neighbors by name. Everybody kind of knew everybody, was up in each other's business.
Yeah.
It was a really deeply Catholic community, and there was a church called Sacred Heart Catholic Church that was literally the center of the town, especially for the Hispanic population. Folks trusted their priests with everything. They did not question the priests.
Which is wild.
Mm-hmm. In a place like that, they believed that clergymen would do no harm. Like, that seemed really impossible. Until, of course, one did. Now we're going to meet Irene Garza. Irene was a 25-year-old elementary school teacher at Thigpen Elementary in McAllen. She was known for her kindness. She spent part of her tiny teacher's salary on school supplies for students who couldn't afford it. And on top of that, Irene was a local beauty queen.
Whoa.
In 1958, she'd been crowned Miss All South Texas Sweetheart, which was like, she's Mexican-American, and that was unheard of for Mexican-American women.
Is this still a thing? Do you know?
I think so.
Like, I don't do beauty pageants, but
what?
Like, what? No, shocking. You guys can't see me, but this would be shocking revelation.
Listen, I've been watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race lately.
It's fantastic.
Wouldn't surprise me. But everyone said Irene was shy. She was very sweet and humble. She was also a very devout churchgoer. Irene went to confession nearly every week, even if she didn't need to necessarily. She just kind of went out of habit. It was part of her routine. People in the town laughed that Irene would kneel before God the way other people meet friends for coffee. Her family was proud of her. She was the first in her family to graduate college, and she also attended graduate school.
Wow.
So she's a smart cookie.
Yeah.
They really expected great things from her. In the early days of April 1960, Irene was busy preparing Easter baskets for her niece and nephews, which is so cute. Easter was a big thing in McAllen, and she could not wait to give her niece and nephew these little baskets. But when Easter Sunday came, those baskets sat untouched, and Irene never came home. She was basically an angel to everyone who knew her, and
Yeah,
yet
she sounds so nice.
she would be someone that like I would want to be friends with.
Right.
And yet, as we're about to see, all that goodness made her an easy target for someone evil. Evil. This case, it makes me so mad when people that you're supposed to trust betray that trust, whether it's like clergy people or police or parents.
Right. But I feel like it's easier for them because they're already in a position of power and trust to like take advantage of it, you know, because you let your guard down and then, yeah.
Yes. And this is why we have so many problems in the Catholic Church. But I digress. So, it's Holy Saturday, April 16th, 1960, which, if you don't know what Holy Saturday is, it's the Saturday, like the day before Easter. Irene gets ready in her church dress and white lace veil. She tells her parents she's heading to Sacred Heart for confession, as was her routine. Excited for Easter, she even borrows the family car, and it's her first time ever driving the family car.
Whoa.
Around 8 p.m., she pulls into the dark parking lot of Sacred Heart Church. The church bells have just finished ringing, and the parishioners are settling in. Normally, a confession happens behind a screen in the nave, but that night, Father John Fate, a 27-year-old visiting priest, insists on hearing Irene's confession in the rectory office instead of the booth.
That sounds unprofessional. Like, I'm not a Catholic, but I've seen enough movies.
Right. Totally out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
But Irene, being obedient and devout and trusting, went along. She knelt in that office and confessed to Father Fate, and nobody saw her leave.
Oh, no.
Which, I'm just going to call out the elephant in the room. This guy's last name is Fate. It's F-E-I-T, but it's pronounced Fate. So when I say, like, Father Fate, it sounds like I'm talking about, like, the Tooth Fairy or something, but no.
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 Also, why was he there instead of the normal
The other
priest?
The other priest also there, but he was the one that was going to do her confession session. I don't know what to call it. He was just the one that took on her confession for the day.
But he was visiting.
Yes, he's a visiting priest in the sense that like he's assigned there for a certain amount of time, and then he gets reassigned and like kind of bounces around.
Sure.
In the hours that followed, her family grew really frantic, right? This is so outside of the ordinary for her. By midnight, no Irene. By sunrise on Sunday, Easter, still nothing.
Wow.
Alarming.
Yeah.
Finally, her parents called the police, and McAllen woke up fast. The police work was well done, in my opinion, which is not always the case.
No.
But a beloved teacher was missing on Holy Week, on Easter, so people were praying by day and crying by night. By Monday, a massive search was underway. Over 70 volunteers from the county sheriff's posse, many on horseback, fanned out across the brush and canals. The entire town pitched in. Everyone from school kids to retired grandpas were combing the fields, calling Irene's name, and hoping for a miracle. This is all very small town Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just picturing like those movie scenes where like some kid's missing and they're like everyone everywhere.
Yep.
Crazy.
And police on horseback.
Police on horseback.
So Texas.
So Texas.
Then the search turned horrifying. On Monday, April 18th, a volunteer on a dirt road found one of Irene's patent leather heels. Just one shoe lying in the grass. Later that same day, near the same road, they found more. Irene's black leather purse and a bit of her white lace veil. That veil piece was exactly what she had worn to confession. And one shoe missing usually means the person was dumped in that area.
Yeah.
Everyone realized at this point that things were not looking great
Yeah.
Really bad. By Tuesday morning, 5 days after she went in for confession, everybody's worst fear came true. Rescuers found her body floating in an irrigation canal on 2nd Street in McAllen. She was still dressed in her blouse and skirt, the way she was for confession, except she was missing her shoes and underwear. The autopsy was pretty brutal. Irene had been beaten and asphyxiated, likely with a cloth or bag over her head, and she unfortunately had been raped while unconscious. Massive bruises covered her face and head. The coroner said she was beaten like a rag doll. I'm not a doctor, but from what the pathologist said in their reports, Irene was probably tortured before she died.
Oh.
And it was, like, horrific. The pictures are horrific. I will not show you the pictures.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
They will
I don't want to
haunt you. This gentle, hardworking woman, a pillar of the community, was now the victim of the worst kind of evil. The people of McAllen were stunned and heartbroken, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the hard part.
Oh.
Naturally, attention turned to Father John Fate, the visiting priest, who was literally one of the last people seen with Irene. Fate fit the profile of a killer, though nobody wanted to admit a priest could be that person. The investigators drained that canal and they found a huge clue. There was a green Kodak slide projector with a long black power cord floating nearby.
Wait. What?
Yeah. So they drain the canal, they find a slide projector. Yeah.
Yeah, but what? Why?
We'll get there. We'll get there. And it had this long black power cord, and they were like, that could have been used to tie someone's hands.
Oh.
2 days after Irene's body was found, Friar Fate, I keep wanting to say fight, it's Fate, volunteered a letter to the police. Okay?
Okay.
This guy's not super, like, slick by any means. You'll see. He volunteered a letter to the police claiming the projector was his. He bought it in Port Isabel the year before. He basically was like, yeah, that's mine. Like,
What?
literally handed the cops a clue from the murder scene. It was like, yeah,
Like, can I get that back?
right? Like, she's just borrowing it.
It's just part of it.
And, like, I just picture the detectives, like spitting out their coffee as they read this letter.
Why would he do that?
He's either really utterly stupid or hideously arrogant.
Right.
One of the two. The police quietly leaned in on Fate. When questioned, he gave multiple stories about where exactly Irene's confession had taken place.
Sauce.
Finally, he had to admit, okay, I heard it in the rectory, just like they said. Just like the witnesses said. So finally, he was like, oh, okay, yeah, that is what happened.
Wait, there was witnesses?
Well, there were other people in the church, right?
Okay.
And he pulled her away to the rectory for the confession, right?
Right.
Then he had another excuse up his sleeve. He said he had broken his glasses in the middle of the confession and had to drive 5 miles to get a spare pair.
What? That's a crazy...
5 miles in the middle of a confession.
Sorry. I've sinned. Oh, wait. Can you... I need to fix my glasses.
I can't
Can we
see.
hold this? I can't see you.
Can
Which is kind of the whole point of confession, is you're supposed to have that thing so they can't see you.
Exactly. So he might as well have said, like, well, I broke my nose on her confession box, so of course I ran to the mall. Like, it's just so lame. Then they gave him a lie detector test, and surprise, surprise, he failed it miserably, spectacularly. The polygraph operator later said that Fate was definitely lying under oath on that machine, but in 1960 and even today, in a lot of places, that still isn't enough for like an instant arrest.
Right.
And it just made the investigators more convinced of what they sort of already suspected. I always give my spiel on polygraph tests. They are not 100% accurate. They're actually not very accurate at all. But in this case, it showed that he really, really, really was lying. So you can't use it in court necessarily.
But it's kind of obvious.
It gives you a path to follow,
Yeah.
right? One more piece of damage control. Friar Joseph O'Brien, the assistant pastor at Sacred Heart, had noticed something very wrong that night. He was one of the people that was in the church that night.
Right.
He saw huge scratches on Fate's forearms, and he asked him about it. He was like, "What did you do?" And Fate said he had been locked out of the rectory and climbed through a second-floor window to get in.
What? That's a crazy lie.
So stupid.
Is that how he broke his glasses?
Apparently, right? So he's saying he climbed a brick wall to the second floor, broke a window, and climbed through to get into the rectory.
Okay.
Which does not make any sense.
No.
And this is one of the bad jokes that I wrote in my script that I kept. I said, "Buddy, Spider-Man called and he wants his origin story back."
Oh no.
Friar O'Brien wasn't fooled, though. He later testified he even told Irene's parents something chilling. If the church finds out Friar Fate did this, he will face far greater punishment from us than any court could ever give him.
Okay.
Which at first, I was like, okay, like, get him.
Yeah.
Right? But then I realized what he's actually saying. In other words, church leaders were planning a cover-up already. Right? Like, they're going to punish him, not the court.
Right.
So it's already developing, right?
Yeah.
This cover-up. And it gave Fate sort of an umbrella, a shield for the time being.
Thus.
You'd think all this evidence, the odds, the lies, the confession in the office would be enough, but there was more.
Okay.
Remember how Friar Fate said Irene had like no other issues leading up to the confession?
Right.
Yeah. It turns out 3 weeks before Irene vanished in Edinburgh, which is a town 20 miles away, a 20-year-old student named Maria America Guerrera was attacked while kneeling for communion at church. A man threw something over her face and tried to choke her. She fought back and survived. Okay? Investigators took her statement. Maria said the attacker had a clean-shaven face and wire-rimmed glasses.
Thus.
Later, she picked John Fate's photo out of a lineup. So, you can see where that's heading.
This is after.
This is...
No, like, it happened before, but then she picked his photo out of a lineup after?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So once they realized that Fate had 2 victims, it should have been over, but when Maria sued for justice, Fate went on trial in 1961 for the assault. The jury couldn't reach a verdict on attempted rape, so he pleaded down to aggravated assault, and the judge fined him $500.
What? That's crazy.
$500. Which today is about $5,500.
That's nothing.
Literally
I
nothing.
mean, it's money, but that's nothing.
I did some research. It's the cost of Invisalign. It's the cost of a really shitty used car. It is the down payment on a better car.
Okay.
But literally, just the cost of Invisalign
Wow.
for assaulting and potentially attempting to rape a woman. The priest didn't spend a single day in jail for hurting Maria. He walked out and was immediately sent away by the church, who claimed, quote, he needs treatment.
Which means...
To say the least, the man needs treatment. So they just kind of pushed him into the shadows, and they were like, go away. Go over there everyone will forget what happened. Meanwhile, Irene's family was angry as fuck.
Yeah.
One relative said, quote, "He's lucky I didn't kill him myself." And I do not blame them for that sentiment. The Catholic Church just brushed it off. They were terrified of a scandal. And at this time, JFK, who was a Catholic, was running for president. So they don't want no scandal in the papers. The official documents later called it a juicy scandal no one wanted to feed. In short, by Easter 1960, the Catholic hierarchy had decided protect the priest at all costs. John Fate was quietly moved to Missouri. They sent him to Assumption Abbey to reevaluate his vocation.
Which means...
They're literally just trying to get him out of the spotlight and cover it up and hope people will just let it pass and do nothing. The thinking was just let the time pass and maybe everyone will forget. Little did they know time was on Irene's family's side. At Assumption Abbey, Friar Fate was just known as Friar John. No spotlight, but silence was painful. In 1963, the novice master there was a monk named Dale Tackney, and he says that Friar John confessed to him privately. Fate admitted he had indeed killed a woman after hearing her confession. He told Tackney the church was covering for him to avoid scandal.
Ooh.
So out it comes. Very frank admission. Tackney later said he couldn't stay silent, but even then it took him decades to go to the police.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Fate formally left the priesthood in 1972. This is 12 years later. He moved to Phoenix, got married, had 3 kids. He lived decades as a, air quotes, good citizen. Irene's family didn't sleep easy. Irene's mother prayed at her grave every single Easter. 2 of her cousins, excuse me if I'm saying these wrong, but Naomi Sigler and Linda de la Vigna became the main drivers of getting justice for Irene. They tracked down witnesses, they kept old newspaper clippings, they even snuck into parishes asking questions to the people who were there. Fast forward to 2002, at last, the case was reopened.
Wow.
Okay. Tackney's letter had reached the Texas Rangers at this point with the confession. And Friar O'Brien from the Sacred Heart, the original church, had finally spoken up. They had enough to get an indictment on Friar John. Then the district attorney at the time, Renee Guerrera, squashed it.
What? Why?
She publicly smirked, saying that these were old priests with bad memories. But even though she's doing that, and that's awful, I think she just didn't want to deal with it personally. The word was out, right? The news had gotten out there that they had a confession. Finally, in 2014, the story broke nationally on 48 Hours. There's a big 48 Hours episode about it. And public pressure started to grow. A new DA, so goodbye to the old bitch. New DA Ricardo Rodriguez Jr. was elected on a promise to solve Irene's murder. That was one of his campaign points.
That's fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you can imagine, technology developed so much between 1960 and, when is this, 2014?
That's such a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
In between.
But
also why... how is he connected to the case?
He wasn't. That was just one of the things he wanted to do if he got elected as the new DA. And
he was running against the old...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That makes sense now.
Yeah.
I was like trying to piece together like, because it's such an old, like a lot of crime happens. Unfortunately, it's crazy to be like that one crime from, what, 50?
1960.
Bad at math.
Yeah.
50 something years ago. I'm the
56.
56 years ago. I'm gonna solve that
Yes.
unless you're connected or it's the old DA was being dumb.
Yeah.
Right. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I think anyway.
Yeah.
Oh. In McAllen, I think it's such a small town that I wonder, I didn't look into like other cases that happened there, but I wonder if this is like one of the only big unsolved cases that they had. So
Right.
him saying like, I want to solve this big case was probably really ideal for people,
Right.
especially Irene's family.
Oh, definitely.
Early 2016, sheriff's deputies quietly flew to Arizona. On February 9th, 2016, 81-year-old John Fate was arrested outside his home
Wow.
and flown back to Texas.
Fantastic.
The man who had posed as the victim's spiritual guide was now handcuffed as a suspect in her murder after 56 years.
Wow.
Happy retirement, am I
That's
right?
crazy.
The trial in Edinburgh was an event. It's a big case for the area, like we were saying. Fate was now 85 at the time of his trial, and he sat very quietly in the courtroom, looking more like a frail grandfather at this point. The prosecutor, Ricardo Rodriguez, laid it all out. Friar Tackney took the stand, saying that Fate admitted to the killing in 63. The jury heard how Fate's earlier attempt on Maria was nearly identical. They saw all the newspaper clippings and notes the Garza family had held on to. Maria Guerrera herself, which was the old DA, was now a nun named Sister Amada. And she testified via video from Mexico that, oh, no, this is not the old DA. Let me start over. They both had the same last name. Maria Guerrera herself, who was the other girl who got attacked.
Oh.
Now a nun named Sister Amada in Mexico testified via video that she had identified Fate in 1960. So she's testifying. And again, technology has come so far between 1960 and then now we're fast forwarding to 2017 with video testimony on this
Right.
case. It's just wild.
Such a long time.
The slide projector was introduced as evidence. So were photos of Irene's belongings. Even Fate's own note about the projector was read, that letter he had sent in.
Crazy.
They brought in Richard Sipe, who was an expert on priest misconduct, who said Fate's behavior fit the pattern of a dangerous predator. They even had former church officials admit they planned a cover-up.
Wow.
The defense tried to poke holes. They said no DNA, faded memories, it happened so long ago, blah. But by then, the weight of decades of evidence was pretty damning, pretty crushing. On December 7th, 2017, the verdict came in. Surprise, surprise. Guilty of murder with malice aforethought.
Wow.
The courtroom gasped and cried. The jury foreman, so like the guy that has been put in charge of the jury, was like hugging the detectives. Like everybody
It's wild.
knew
Yeah.
what had happened here. Irene's cousins fell into each other. John Fate finally got what every killer should. He was locked away for the rest of his life. Later that day, nobody walked out saying, well, he's old now. Like, this isn't fair. Like, they were just relieved.
Right.
It did not matter that he was 85. Afterward, DA Rodriguez said, I'm happy we finally have closure for the Garza family. His assistant, the prosecutor on the case, described Fate bluntly as, quote, an evil man, a predator, a wolf in priest's clothing. And that's such a good way to put it, I think.
Yeah.
And it was the truth. The whole county cheered a little bit. Fate did appeal his sentence, but it never went anywhere, and he later died in prison in 2020.
Wow.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
He wasn't there that long, though, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
That he was barely there.
Yeah.
And it got covered up and,
True.
like, it's crazy. Also, like, I felt like, I mean, it seemed like everyone knew it was probably him at, like, 56 years ago, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they're like, no, he can just go. Like, he wasn't charged.
Right.
Ever.
Right. Until
He
was in his 80s, yeah.
Which is, but they, like, questioned him and had him and held him. Wow.
They just didn't have the technology to, like, link him on more than speculation and, like, circumstantial evidence. But now they do.
Now they do.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just like my friend's podcast.
Yes.
It's very, very similar, where, like, they, except for the police there, lost the evidence because they were not good at searching.
Yeah.
And then, but it was the same thing. Everyone knew it was the guy, but, like, they couldn't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. The worst kind of cases.
It's so terrible because, like, they're getting away with it, but everyone knows.
Yep.
It's awful.
In the Austin yogurt, wow. In the Austin yogurt shop murder case, I mean, the guy didn't even get caught until after he was dead.
Right.
So he, like, never was brought to justice.
Yeah, which is so awful. Terrible.
Yeah.
But also, like, for a family who knows, like, who killed, like, I feel like that would be worse. I feel like you see and you know, and you can, like, watch them live their lives and be fine. And be like, I know they killed them. And everyone knows they killed them. But the police didn't do a good enough job or just couldn't do it. And now you have to watch them live their lives. It's awful.
Yep. Knowing that he was just going to live his life as normal.
For decades. Mm-hmm. In both of them. It's, like, awful.
Because he was 27 when he murdered her.
Yeah.
And he went to trial when he was 85.
Insane.
It's insane.
Like, he got to live multiple lives from, like, compared to the person he killed.
Right.
It's so awful.
Right. And at the end of the day, like, I think the family was satisfied that he was brought to justice, even though he was 85, you know? But at the same time, like, that just sucks.
Yeah. For so long. Yeah. Tragic.
One heartbreaking thing during the trial, Father Thomas Doyle looked over all the church's internal files on the case, and he told the jury, quote, in all their documents about Irene, I found not one word of compassion or concern for her. Not one. All they wrote about was how to hide the scandal, and that's it.
That's awful.
Literally, a young woman was murdered, and the church's only concern was covering its own ass.
So, like, awful.
There's just not even a word for it. It's horrific. Ugh. So let's remember Irene Garza, the person, not what happened to her, right? She was a mom, she was a teacher, a parishioner. The locals never forget her. They held Easter services in her memory for decades. And her family, for their determination, her cousins, Naomi and Linda, spent decades chasing down this case. I think without them, it may have never been put to rest. Like, it may have never been solved.
Right.
Her cousin Naomi once said she had to keep asking, "Where is she?" at Irene's graveside until someone gave her answers. So that was, to her, it was almost like her meditation was going to the gravesite and just asking, like, "Where are you? Where is she?" They held faith when the world gave them none, and I really admire that because that would be really hard.
Yeah.
And that's the case of the murder of Irene Garza.
Wow.
Do you have any final thoughts, Nathan?
No, it's so sad.
It's really sad.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it definitely reminds me of my friend's case where like no one, like I guess, did, like they knew it was him. There's obviously evidence there, and yet like for some reason that's not enough. But then like someone like goes and they do something and it gets solved, and it's like decades later.
Yep.
But it's awful.
It's awful. It's awful. I mean, none of these...
True crime's awful.
Right. None of
like,
these stories are great, but like this one in particular, I think.
But sometimes, like, and it always happens to like the best people sometimes, where you're like, not them.
Right.
Like, this just someone less
Just
nice.
Yeah.
Someone less innocent.
She just like, she was so smart. She was the first in her family to go to college.
Right. She had like her whole life ahead of her.
And she was a teacher. She could have changed so many children's lives, but she like never got that opportunity.
Yeah.
And it was taken away by a priest when she was literally just going to confess her sins. Ugh.
Like, not ironic, so kind of
There's an irony there.
awful irony.
Awful irony,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, well, thank you, Nathan, for
Absolutely. Thanks for
spending
having
your
me.
time. We will definitely, and by we, I mean me, I will get you back on the podcast
yeah.
eventually. I always like circle back around to people. So thanks for listening to this awful, terrible story.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you're still listening, give yourself a pat on the back. This was a hard one. You guys are awesome. I love you guys so much. Give your dogs and cats a little scratch for me. Drink some water. Take your meds. Make sure you get 8 hours of sleep. Or if you're a woman, you actually need more than that. So get more than 8 hours of sleep. And remember... Friends don't let friends commit crimes. Bye. There you go.
It's fun.
Yeah?
It's so great. I'm not sad inside at all.